What's good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Reckoning Sports Show. I'm your host, Big Daddy. We're here with Lex, of course.
What up?
Coach D done found his health, and he back with us.
What's up, guys?
Whew. All right, some stuff that popped off today. So let's get right into it real quick.
Here we go.
Your boy Brock Purdy.
Hey,
You know,
it was a wonderful game by him.
yeah.
It's a great game.
People have been saying, I want to see him come from behind. I want to see him in a tight contest. And then I'm going to give him your best offensive lineman not there.
Yeah.
And then your best playmaker, not receiver.
No.
But your best playmaker, Debo's not there.
Well,
so
I mean,
it's
even,
different.
Even then, I would still say Christian McCaffrey is the best playmaker.
I give you that. But his second
But
best
yeah.
playmaker.
Fair.
And Christian McCaffrey had himself a day.
It was
So,
jeez.
so, knowing what you know about Mr. Purdy,
Yeah.
and Nathan Lown lost 2 in a row, how you feel?
I think Brock Purdy is settling back into what he is, and it's no shade at him. I think he's a decent starting quarterback, but he's a poor man's Kirk Cousins. He doesn't have the arm talent of Kirk Cousins, and honestly, and people get on Kirk and for good reason. I don't think Kirk's football IQ isn't always the highest, because sometimes he'll make a throw, you'll look at him and be like, Kirk, why would you even throw that ball? But he'll win you games. Like, you can't deny Kirk Cousins will win you games. I think Brock Purdy is the lesser version of that. I think he has high football IQ, but I think his measurables and his physical gifts are going to limit him. So it works perfectly with Debo and Brandon Ayuk and Christian McCaffrey because everything is 20 yards and closer. And, obviously Kittle can be a deep threat, but he's not necessarily a deep threat.
He used to be.
He used to be. With who?
No, I'm saying he used to be because his body keeps breaking.
No. But
he's brittle.
Saying, but, well, yeah.
Kittle is brittle.
He is
like,
now. But I'm saying, like, just 2 years ago with Jimmy Garoppolo, Kittle would be up the field. And, Jimmy Garoppolo and Baker Mayfield are very similar. They throw the seam routes amazing. You throw outside the numbers, well, you hoping that someone will make a break on it. So I think he's a poor man Kirk Cousins. That's where I see him. And I see him as a 15 to 20 quarterback in the league if you're going to make rankings.
So we now have, it's not counting tonight, we now have 16 games from Brock Purdy played. We got a season of film on Brock Purdy. All right. Every guy comes in, you have this guy that comes in out of nowhere, does decent, and then you look and you get film on him, and now, again, Debo out, you're missing a lineman, but your holes and all your flaws are now taped. Then good teams are going to see that film, and they're going to pick apart and know where your weaknesses are. Another thing here is, I thought it was a mistake to trade Trey, just because I was get Brock to go.
Yeah.
But if he starts troubling, you had another guy there to see what he can do as well. And now you praying this doesn't go into next week.
Yeah.
I think we overreact because the NFL is a week-to-week league. And so he's had 2 games, and they haven't been the greatest.
No, they've been bad. He looked awful against the Browns. Now, fair, the Browns have a very...
I was say the Browns have work. That front.
Well, we say that, but then look at what the Colts dropped on them. So, I'm just saying, the front, Myles Garrett is Defensive Player of the Year caliber. But I'm just saying...
Myles Garrett is gold jacket.
Because
if he was anywhere else, we'd be talking about him as one of the greatest of all time already. He in Cleveland, and the conversation... Myles Garrett is different.
The real ones know Myles Garrett. No, we understand, but that doesn't necessarily mean that, like, Brock Purdy, just because he on the other side, you can still have an okay game. Come on.
But
And
what
the
I'm
Vikings
saying,
defense.
What I'm saying though is there's gonna be ebbs and flows in every season, and you're gonna have these moments. This is his first moment. I'm not going. Now I wasn't on the train, but I'm sure not going to jump off the train and say, "Oh, he's not the guy for the 40." It's 2 games.
I was never on the train.
It's 2 games, They're still the best team in their division.
Oh,
Oh,
well,
yeah,
I mean,
And then
okay, well, that's
the-
not saying a lot.
They're the best. No, yeah. They're the best team in their division. They're walking to the divisional.
Yeah.
And then in the divisional, we'll see. Because styles make fights. So we'll see.
But
I think, honestly, it's bigger for Minnesota. Because
Now they're 3-4
Minnesota
now.
is now in no man's land with the trade deadline coming.
Yeah.
Are we going to go for it? And the coaches, of course, like, we're going to go for it. I want to keep my job.
Yeah.
But as an organization, you really have to look at it and say, we're not as close as this
Well,
record.
they
is
should
indicating.
go for it. They should. And I'm going to tell you why. You still got 2 games against the Bears. You still got 2 games. You got 1 against the Packers.
You're not wrong, but let me ask you this.
But let's see.
To do what? To get in the playoffs and do what?
But
Go out in the first round.
it's facts. But again, what you're saying, styles make fights. Who in the NFC, right? You're gonna have the Buccaneers, gross, or the Falcons, also gross. That's gonna get it. Probably gonna play. You have Philly and you have the Niners, right? Then you'll have let's say the Lions win their division. So you're gonna have the Buccaneers or you'll have the Falcons or the Saints. One of them 3, because they all terrible, but we gonna see. And then let's say, and I think, me personally, the Vikings will give the Bucks fits, they would give the Saints, or they would give who else? The Falcons fits, because their pass defenses are disgusting. They're awful. And if you get up again, and look, I love my team. I think we're gonna come out of this awful stretch, 9-3, 9-4, somewhere in there. Justin Jefferson, look, gave Darius Slay that work last time we played.
Look, we'll see
I'm
what
just
Justin
saying.
Jefferson look like when he come back from his hammy.
Look.
Because hammies in the seasons,
Yeah.
once they tender, they normally stay tender.
Yeah, we'll
Look,
see.
at the end of the day, I look at this from a bigger picture perspective.
Okay.
They started off 0-4 for a reason.
No, that's fair.
They don't have a run game.
They sure
and
don't.
the pass defense is So when I look at it from that perspective, and you have to figure out where you're going in the future, we would agree that Kirk Cousins is not the future.
We would.
We would
Oh,
agree
we
that the
would, okay.
offensive line has been patchy for years. We would agree that, okay, Addison looks okay, and you got Jefferson, so you're good.
Yep.
You got Hawkinson, so you're good. But defensively, so I just feel like,
Kirk Cousins got a no trade clause.
Oh yeah.
what that mean?
That means
Unless-
you might not get enough for him depending on what team he wants.
We'll see. We got a week to figure it out. I'm not saying this team's beating down the door to get Kirk. I'm just saying it's a conversation worth having. Speaking of quarterbacks,
Speaking of quarterback.
for the second week in a row, I've been proven right.
Yeah.
And
No, you are.
Don't nobody
Yeah,
want
we
to hear.
gotta look.
Second,
You watched the show. You saw the prediction.
I told y'all, and y'all laughed at me, that
I did.
Tyrod Taylor was the answer in New York.
Wait, hold up.
Y'all know. No.
Baker Mayfield would have been the answer in New York. Yo, like,
I called it. No.
we've been down with Daniel Jones this whole
But
time.
when I said Tyrod, no.
I did. That was me.
Look, they look better.
But tell them the reason why they look better. You called it too. Why do they look better?
But they look better because he's not turning it over.
That's it.
And then the other thing he's doing that Daniel Jones couldn't figure out, put the ball in the playmaker's hand. The touchdown that he threw to Waller in the end zone.
Oh man, that's a great throw.
You got to see it before, and
Yeah.
I know Daniel Jones would have saw those 3 defenders and said,
Hey, nope.
I can't do it.
Mm-mm.
I can't do it." And then the play that he makes to get out of harm's way and dump the ball off to Saquon, I don't know that Daniel makes that play.
I think Daniel Jones tries to run.
And so
I don't think you even see because again, what did we see? What did we see with Patrick? Right? Patrick can run, but he don't want to run. He really don't want to run. But what was the one thing that we saw in the Super Bowl, and then also in the AFC Championship game against the Jags?
on the third down?
He would roll out, and then you would pull up, and then he just throws a little touch pass to Jerick McKinnon. What Tyrod did was he was running, but he had his eyes still in front of
I
him.
don't want Danny Dimes running. You know why? Because he be fumbling.
You know-
Danny Dimes got baby hands.
Look. Tyrod is
Always
consistent.
fumbling.
Tyrod has been
He's consistent, yeah.
Baltimore, San Diego before he got he's gonna get Buffalo.
Yeah.
Consistency, steady, higher above, slightly higher at times above at this point in his career, game manager. But the point is he's not gonna turn the ball over. We got Daniel Jones, who's a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, short of a chromosome, game manager.
Man.
You can't even game manage consistently. Like, I said this when they paid him. Why? Oh, market value. I ain't paying. I would have done it for $1 million, and my broken self would have done better than Daniel Jones. That's how much I don't believe in Daniel Jones, and we paying this man. Brian Daboll, he's the... No. Jesus did something for Daniel Jones. Brian Daboll did not. It's like, that was 1 year, 1 season, that was over. Like, he shouldn't be in the league.
I mean, and look, and I got to give you all the props because you saw it, and look, I missed it. I did not see this. But the one thing that to your point, is that Tyrod understand what his job is.
Exactly.
My job is to keep the offense running. He was like, whether that means I throw for, because he threw for, I think, 279 yesterday. So we can see he can still throw the ball if he needs to. But then also Tyrod's fine with if I have 145 yards passing and no touchdowns and we win. Because that's what good, consistent quarterback play is. See, before these last 2 games, right? The one thing that people said about Brock Purdy is he does what he needs to do to win, and he is a part of the system, right? That's the whole thing with Brock Purdy, where people were like, "Nah, he could be that guy because he does his job." Tyrod does his job, and look, the one thing that and the Giants are, I don't think the Giants are they're not gonna win a ton of games this year. They're not, but at the same time, who's to say that you can't pull off 6 wins, 7 wins? But see, here's the thing. Will Brian Daboll stick to what's been going on?
No.
But see, here's the thing. Even he is not tied to Daniel Jones. That's not his quarterback. So would he actually stick?
You were right a year ago. You're not right now. Once they extended him, he's tied to him.
Yeah.
Well, see, I don't necessarily see it. I don't see it.
Once you guaranteed him that money,
but I don't think Brian Daboll guaranteed him that money.
No. I'm gonna tell you exactly what happened.
You telling me they ain't going in that coaching room?
No, this is what happened. Brian Daboll got the job off of I Can Fix Daniel Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Then Daniel Jones
had an average season,
a better year than he ever had, and they won a playoff game. They extended him. Now they're tied at the hip. They're connected. So when he's healthy, Tyrod's going back to the bench. And I want to be very clear about something. Tyrod's not out here world beating.
No.
Yeah. Like, but
they should.
Daniel Jones would have turned the ball over and they'd have lost that game.
Yes.
And honestly, the Giants should have 3 wins right now because it should have beat Buffalo last week. They should have beat Buffalo.
Yes.
Yeah, no,
And
that's real.
And if we didn't talk about an actual pass interference penalty in the end zone, Saquon Barkley runs it in from the 1, and the Giants win. And
I need
we're gonna talk about
those refs publicly penalized. Like, I'm serious. Like, what are you seeing in that play?
You're changing people's careers,
yes,
and seasons, and the trajectory of like that non-call was abysmal.
Yes.
We're holding before we cross the end.
No, that
we're
part.
we're holding in the end
I'm
zone.
holding throughout the end zone.
I play. Like, what are we doing?
But let's talk about it like this. We're going to talk about this later. Just kind of a drop a nugget for our people watching the show. Giants beat the Bills. Who are the Bills?
Who were the Bills?
No. That's a beautiful segue. Because who in the ham sandwich is the Bills? Because they're supposed to be on the same level with Kansas City.
Mm-mm.
And they're not. And I'm gonna go a couple places. A huge part of the problem is what we've been saying now for 2 years?
Yeah.
That they put too much on Daniel Jones' plate. That he got to be. I'm sorry.
They also put too much on his plate. He just can't handle it.
But they put too much on Josh Allen's plate.
Yeah.
He got to be your leading rusher.
Mm.
Our base offense don't get it open, so he got to scramble around and make something happen. Then he throws a pick and like, what's going on? There's not a conversation happening, and this conversation should be happening. You ready? I don't know if Ken Dorsey is the guy to be the offensive coordinator of that team.
No.
I'm not saying he's a bad OC. I just haven't seen anything that would say
Refreshing.
he's making things easier for Josh.
No.
We're depending. Josh is a freak of nature, talent-wise.
Yeah, but
And we're depending on that too much. It's like, go out here, shake off 3D linemen, sprint and run 4.6 real quick,
Yep.
and then throw a bomb down the field to 5'7" Stephon Diggs. And if that doesn't happen, we have no offense.
yes, no,
Well,
it's
no. Let's get with the GM though. 2 years we've been talking about running game. Like trade deadline, Derrick Henry, go give this man some running game, and maybe he can diversify a little
Look,
bit.
Latavius Murray is not the answer.
Look, the most Lataviuses of Murrays is definitely not the answer. But at the same time, James Cook has been having a decent year. James Cook has,
But it's not consistent.
but here's the problem. And again, to your point, and again, this all comes back to the point you just made when you first led this off. Ken Dorsey is not the dude to run it. Why? Because if you have a running game, you have a passing game. You ain't got to throw it on your quarterback's shoulders because you can run the ball. The one thing that all teams in the northern portion of the United States have is you have a home field advantage once November starts. It's cold in that mug. It's cold. Don't nobody want to play. If you are below Maryland, you do not want to play in that weather. And so guess what? People still got to come to you because you got home games. Run the ball. What does Philly do? Philly runs the ball. And honestly, as much as I despise the Cowboys, the Cowboys run the ball, maybe to their detriment sometimes, but they run the ball. You have a league average to slightly above average running back up in Buffalo. Run the ball. What does Baltimore do? Run the ball. What do the Steelers do? Even though Najee Harris is slower than molasses, run the ball. If you have that built in, which saves your quarterback for when you really do need him, because you don't necessarily need him in September and early October, but you need him in December.
No.
You need him in January.
No, I need creativity from Ken.
That's real.
But again, you can't get creative if you throw the ball 65% of the time. Because at the end of the day, all defense is going to say is, okay, you're going to run the ball. You might get 80, 90 yards, whatever. We don't care about that. All we got to do is Josh going to throw us one.
No, but my point is okay, you drafted Kincaid in the first round.
And you'd be a blocker.
But
Dawson Knox is getting more run than Dawson.
But our two tight end sets, and I say our as if I'm a part of
Yeah.
Buffalo. The two tight end set in Buffalo should be the best in the league.
Yep.
They should be running all kind of stuff. And then, okay, let's get real cute with it. We can run some bunch stuff, and I got Knox in the front and Kincaid on one side, and then I got Diggs on the other. And where's the creativity?
It's the same. Honestly, and that's the sad part, Coach. Because here's the thing: the Bills have better talent than the Steelers.
Oh no, that's
But
real.
Matt Canada and Ken Dorsey's offense looks very similar, and it works better in Buffalo because you have a better quarterback.
Yeah.
But look, and I don't think Kenny Pickett's the answer, but you definitely don't help your quarterback up there.
But look, you can't lose to Mac Jones.
I'm so glad you said that. Do you know why? Because I have Mac Jones in fantasy. Let's talk about how bad Mac Jones has been this year and how you lose to him. Mac Jones has had two negative point games this year.
He's been benched twice.
He's benched twice, and he's had 2 single point games in fantasy. Now, is fantasy the end all be all? No, but it is a very good examination of what your stats are showing. Sir, you've thrown 2 pick sixes this year. That's awful. That's atrocious. Then let's also talk about, and I'm so glad we're having this discussion because the Bills have been a facade since the Kansas City game. They have been resting on that game, which was honestly one of the greatest games in NFL history. My God, it was the best game that Josh Allen probably ever played the rest of his life because it was an all-timer. But you lost to a team that has a -7 point turnover differential. -7. You lost to a team that averages 85 rushing yards a game. That is 29th in the league. 80. You're not even sniffing 100. And you lost to a team that averages 14.4 points a game. What? That is 30th in the NFL.
Look.
How?
Most
You
of the
can't
time-
lose that game.
Most of the time, if it's a division game, I let it go. But they've been playing so bad, I can't let this
Man,
go.
I'm sorry.
But I'm gonna tell you, I agree with you. Normally, when it's division games are weird. We know each other. Weird stuff happens in division games.
But you stomped them out in the playoffs the other year. You stomped them out.
Here go what my problem is, and nobody won't talk about this either. The defense was blamed on Leslie Frazier, and Leslie Frazier kind of took a leave of absence. I'm gonna walk away from coach, and McDermott blamed it on him. And then now McDermott's caught. How you give up 29 points to the Patriots?
Now I will give him this. Matt Milano is gone. Fair. Von Miller ain't him. Fair.
XFL defense shouldn't give up 29.
No, you're
points.
right. No, and Tre'Davious White is gone. Fair. But guess what? Last year,
To the Patriots.
no, hold on. I'm gonna make a point. Last year, they lost both their safeties, both All Pros, better players than Matt Milano, and you didn't have Von Miller because he tore his ACL. So you still didn't have that. You lost both your All Pro safeties, and you were way better last year. So,
But who called the plays last year?
nobody
Nobody want to have that conversation.
Hey, you're right.
All right, we're gonna move on. Magic Johnson. Magic. I know it ain't called Twitter no more, but his Twitter fingers be popping.
He got something to say.
Look, this dude different. This the same dude that quit and didn't tell nobody.
Hey.
He told the media before he told his boss like he different. He like LeBron don't know I'm on here. He like, oh well, we'll talk about that next week. I won't be there. And you know what? Ron Rivera might not be there next week.
Look, Eric Bieniemy might not be there.
No, that
He disappointed because the thing that he said wasn't even that Ron. He said that we cannot score 7 points.
Yeah.
And I think he came in with the expectation that Ron would probably get fired
Yeah.
and Eric would get this trial run.
But
Why am I giving you a trial run
you
when
can 7 points against the Giants?
the quarterback has been sacked 40 times in 6 games?
Do you know that
7 games.
he is on track?
He's about to break
David
Carr's record.
David Carr got sacked 70 times in a year.
72 times.
72 times. Do you know that he is on track to get sacked 96 times?
I don't
Somebody
think nobody
will
can
die.
survive. Yeah.
You will die.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I
That is
don't
not
think a human being can
that
survive
is not
that.
hyperbole. When you get into 96 car accidents, your body is going to say, I am done. You are putting this man in legit danger.
and last year they gave up 48 sacks.
Man,
So you've already on track to double.
man.
Like,
Yo, you did 48 and 17 and you at 40
Look,
and 7?
I'll be the first to say that I thought Sam Howell not going to be great,
He was
but
looking.
for a 5th round pick,
He
I
looks
was
good.
like, he's going to be decent.
Yeah, man.
And for a 5th round pick, he
looked decent.
ain't. But
But you
But
can't
my
handle
point
this.
is,
you can't handle this.
why? If
But
I'm a
it don't
coach,
look like they have great receivers.
But
That
see,
too.
here's the thing. You do.
That's my point.
That's the problem. That's Eric Bieniemy's problem.
Like he does. Logan Thomas is not a bad.
No,
tight
he's
end.
a solid tight end.
And then
You got Curtis Samuel, Jahan Dotson, Terry McLaurin. You got
got-
Brian Robinson.
no, look,
What is happening?
the O line is the problem. I mean, we only rushing 76 yards as well. Like
Yeah.
the O line is the problem. But is it fair? And I know Eric. One, we already said it wasn't fair that Eric had to prove himself before he got a head coaching job. But hey, I've helped Patrick Mahomes become Patrick Mahomes, but then you give me Sam Howell, and you expecting the same results?
no, it's not that I'm expecting the same result. But what I'm not seeing is the utilization. Like if I'm gonna come at Ken Dorsey about creativity,
Yeah.
then I gotta come at Eric and say you have outside skill talent that is inconsistently used at best. You have running backs that get hot and then you don't run the ball consistently enough. Like he has 2 solid backs.
Yeah, like Brian Robinson should get 20 touches a game.
Oh, no.
He should. And
No, he should. He got to get benched.
So,
he ain't.
so here's my thing with all the Commanders and everything going on up in the nation's capital, which is it's abysmal to watch. Is you have a decent quarterback. He's okay. He's an okay quarterback. He's okay. He'll get the job done. He almost beat the Eagles. He was about to throw away from beating the Eagles. And which means I can see him being okay. Here's my problem. If you go and look at the target distribution of the first about 5 weeks of the season, it was very Kansas City-like, right? It was McLaurin gonna get 5, Jahan Dotson gonna get 4, Curtis Samuel gonna get 3, and it was kind of darting it around. Very, very, very Kansas City-like because they don't have any dominant receivers.
No.
Here's the problem, though. You got a dominant receiver.
I would say because I feel like Dotson needs double-digit targets every week.
See, that is exactly my point. Eric Bieniemy, I get it that this is what you've known for. How long was he? 6, 7 years? Was he the OC?
I don't care.
However,
you got Terry McLaurin need to get 12 balls his way and scheme it up.
Why?
And then to my running problem on Sunday. Chris Rodriguez had 7 carries.
Yeah, who's Chris? Who's that?
Brian Robinson had 8 carries. Antonio Gibson had 2. Mm-hmm. So that means from your backs, you had 17 carries.
Yeah, exactly.
In a 1-score game.
Yeah, exactly. But see, that's what I mean. It's like
that's
you're not adapting your offense to what's happening because defensive. Look, what did we just say earlier? This is a what? This is a divisional game. Divisional games are weird, right? We know that. You know me, I know you, and usually they're going to be low scoring. Usually, well, except Kansas City because they
Sam Howell dropped back to pass over 40 times.
But see, that's the whole.
No,
that is the problem.
No,
is that the game did not dictate that you had to do that, and that's where Eric Bieniemy is failing. Is that you don't seem to be able to adjust with how games are being played. It's the same thing. You know what? And I didn't want to go here because I don't think it may not be apples to apples, but it jogged my memory here. Eric Bieniemy is calling games the way the Dolphins, Mike McDaniel's calling games. Why do I say that? Because Mike McDaniel, high-flying offense. It's amazing. 70 points, look, that in itself. Here's the problem. But when you did that against teams that have a combined 5 wins.
Thank you. Because it was Denver.
And it was the Panthers. Okay. But then when you play the good teams, Buffalo and Philly, you have been outscored by 42 points.
Not only that, their offense.
They only scored 10. Last night.
Their offense scored 10.
So, but at the same time, it's like
Tua and Cheetah. And
it's the same. It's the same offense in the first quarter than it is in the fourth quarter. There's no change. That's what I see with the Commanders. There's no change. It's look. This is how Patrick played. So Sam Howell, this is how you gonna play, sir. Patrick Mahomes is maybe the most talented quarterback that ever played the game of football. So you can't expect Sam Howell to do the same things that Patrick Mahomes can do. You need to run the ball and play good defense. The sad part about it is their defense is actually pretty good. They're a good defense. Yeah. But you can't see it because you keep putting them out there every single time. You know, Daron Payne is one of the best defensive tackles.
And nobody knows.
And nobody knows because they get their butts whooped because they're on the field 70 plays a game.
Their front four should be amazing because they're all first-round picks. But look, I tell you this.
Oh, my God. So frustrating.
Magic and them are going to clean house, and we're going to see. But I don't think...
And it's not fair to Sam Howell because it's going to be put on his shoulders, and he's going to be out.
Yeah, he's not the quarterback next year. There's no way.
But I'm saying he could be a decent bridge quarterback if you wanted to build your roster first. But I'm just...
Yeah, that ain't happening.
Man.
All right.
But wait, Jacoby Brissett signed him? Go ahead.
Speaking of the Eagles, and
I don't want to go first. No, I'll let y'all talk. Go ahead. No, I got plenty to say.
I'll go first. I got this.
Mm-hmm.
I got this. So, Well, as we said, they only scored 10 points.
Yeah.
The Eagles. The pick six that your quarterback threw was weird.
It
was.
It's kind of like what happened. Remember last week when he threw the pass to Goddard, but it got punched out, and then Quentin Williams. That's not a pick in my opinion, but they called it a pick. Fair enough, but.
Look, I have several problems with everything that happened in that game.
Come on, through with it.
I love that they went hunting on defense.
Mm-hmm.
When you down 3 offensive linemen, you should go hunting.
Yeah.
So what I saw from Tua, I'm not gonna hold it against him because it's like Patrick in the Super Bowl. 3 linemen are gone.
Yeah.
You're gonna look different. And Hassan Reddick. Time out real quick. Steve Keim got to be dumber than bricks. Cause how you let that man walk out the door? And then, for whatever reason, you decided that you had to make him a middle linebacker, and that's not his talent.
It's not even.
set.
It's not what he did to Temple. It's not what he did to Temple.
But so I
I get
digress.
Micah. Micah was a middle linebacker, but because he had his skills, he translated to the edge. But come on now, that's not what he did in college.
But
Come on.
watching that game, I'm saying to myself, if these are 2 of the best teams in the NFL, then the NFL is very wide open.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because the Eagles, the only time they look dominant is on the tush push. You know the tush push is going to work.
Oh yeah, that. Yeah.
But consistent now, I will say, A.J. Brown is like, you're going to put some respect on my name.
Oh yeah.
A.J. Brown wants to be considered.
He wants to be in that Justin Jefferson conversation.
This is the problem. He putting up numbers. He is.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see him in that conversation.
He in that next. He's in
In
that
the next tier, yeah. But I just feel like, and I know this isn't fair, so I'll say that up front. Healthy Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson dog walks everybody in this league.
That's
I'm
all.
sorry.
That's all.
I mean, I love Tyreek Hill, but Justin Jefferson is 6'2", and I know what she
I'm
is.
just saying, in the offense, getting the same reps that A.J. Brown is getting, Justin Jefferson is about to tear the
Justin
roof off.
Jefferson is gold jacket. Like that's what his career is putting
It
him on.
should be.
Yeah.
But
Does AJ don't get it because you got Devontae Smith on the other side?
No, I just, it's not fair what I'm about to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. You should do this to, like I just said, Terry McLaurin should get 12 balls.
Mm-hmm.
They forced the ball to A.J. Brown because they got to pacify his emotions.
So they do the same thing Justin Jefferson though too. Justin Jefferson averaged, I think, 10 targets a game.
You want to know the difference? I'm going to give you the difference because he just vexed me with that.
What? No, it's true.
No, I'm telling you the difference. When you watch the All-22,
Yeah.
a lot of AJ stuff is junk.
Oh, it's like
It's right here. When you watch Justin Jefferson,
Oh, it's on the field.
The defender over there, Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, over there.
Justin Jefferson
Separation.
remind me, as far as route, getting away from people, and this is gonna say a lot. He got a little Marvin Harrison.
Yeah, man.
You remember how
He's a tactician.
Marvin would just leave people. You look at the picture and you like, who was guarding him?
Yeah.
Because Marvin didn't
By
let him.
himself.
Marvin didn't have contested catches.
No.
Because wasn't nobody there.
Yeah, but Justin Jefferson does have the contested catches too. That's what
No,
I mean.
he can do both.
Yeah.
And that's all. That's all.
Yeah.
AJ Brown is really good, and if he was on my team, I'd be cheering for him. Like I'm not saying,
Of course.
like I'm
Nobody's
not
saying
trying
that.
to say
Nobody's
he's
saying
bad.
that. Yeah, nobody's saying
I'm
that.
just saying there's levels to this.
Yeah, and the bet. Look, if we look, let's call a spade a spade. I'm an Eagles fan. You already know I'm a diehard Eagles fan. The tiers of wide receivers is Justin Jefferson and Tyreek Hill and Devontae Adams. When Devontae Adams gets the ball.
When I think Cincinnati is in there too.
See, me personally,
Chase.
this is just me.
Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase.
What's the other one?
This
You
is
said
T. Higgins.
No, T. Higgins ain't in there.
Here's my thing.
T. Higgins ain't in that.
Those three are right there. I think A.J. Brown and Jamar Chase are that next tier. And I know that you're amazing. We see it. It's on display. But like you said, there's levels to this. And Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, and Devontae Adams are just at a different level. I'm sorry. Would I rather have Devontae Adams or AJ Brown? I'd rather have Devontae Adams. Would I rather have...
You don't want to argue that CeeDee Lamb's on that level, do you?
Do we want to keep talking about this?
It's your boy.
No, hey, I'm just saying. Look,
yeah.
He agreed with me at the end of the day. He said, okay, he a one.
No.
Yeah.
He a one.
Yeah,
as
that's all you gotta say.
He a top 16 receiver. So
he a one. On 18, is he the one?
On
they ain't got nobody
their
else.
Is he a one?
On their team?
First off,
Absolutely.
yeah, okay. So he a one. And when we ranked him off air, where do we put him?
He was
at?
16.
Okay.
But okay, saying CeeDee Lamb is a one is like saying Daniel Jones is a starter. What we really saying? What we really
Look,
saying?
all I know is CeeDee Lamb went for like 1,400 yards last year. So he has the talent, but But we also know he is not. He shouldn't be the one. Amari Cooper should be the one. We understand that, but we also know Amari Cooper is a better wide receiver than CeeDee. We all know that.
Yes.
But guess what? If you get the targets, you are a one. Thank you very much.
Garbage. Anyways.
Golly.
I identify it.
You gonna get us fired. That was him. That was not me.
So here's my thing though. We talked about the fallout of that game. But you know what the real fallout of that game was? Howie. He wasn't really watching the game. Howie had his built-in phone right here in his seat. He was talking. He was making deals. And what happened? Howie.
Yeah,
I'm giving you my left shoe and a paperclip, and I'm getting back your Range Rover. And then I make you feel like you made a good deal. And that's the thing. The Eagles, if you have not seen it, that means you don't have ESPN. The Eagles got a 2-time All-Pro to come and play on this defensive backfield. And all we gave up was a dog water safety. We gave up a 5th and a 6th.
For Kevin Byard.
For Kevin Byard. Come on now.
I don't.
How
we got some on people?
He-
like these are investigators.
It's something.
Let me tell you what.
And he's fleeced the Titans twice.
It's be like no one. You getting 1-2 tackles.
I gave you a 1 for AJ Brown, and you turned it into Treylon Burks. Man, listen.
I don't understand that.
I couldn't tell you. I honestly
No,
couldn't
it's
tell you.
Both teams won in this one, but it's what Minnesota did. Oh, we're gonna get rid of Stephon Diggs, who's one of the best in the league,
And we're gonna get Justin Jefferson.
and go get. But nobody knew Justin Jefferson with
Of
Jefferson,
course.
so they lucked out.
Yeah.
Tennessee tried to do the same thing.
And his comp was AJ Brown in his dreams. Then he on his best day.
AJ Brown has the right to say, especially now, that you traded away the best receiver in your franchise history. I know Derek Mason hates to hear that.
Yeah.
And for longevity and all, I get it. And D Mason's stud, like I get it.
But talent,
no, it's
it's
AJ Brown.
Yeah. And you got to see him every week just doing this. That hurts. I know it hurts. And then look, if you trade away your 2-time All-Pro safety, you're doing fire sale. So who next?
Oh yeah, because Derrick Henry.
We already said everybody.
Look. But here's the thing: nobody wants this. Nobody wants this. I don't want it.
No, but
I don't
Derrick
want this.
Henry's gonna have a star on the side of his helmet.
No. Not that, brethren.
Buffalo.
Not even that.
Buffalo needs him.
Not even that, brethren.
He's going to Dallas, but okay.
No, he's not. He's not going to Dallas. And it's not because I don't want him in Dallas. It's not that. It's not even that. So Twitter, I'm gonna call it Twitter because his mama called him Twitter. Is that the rumblings? Is that
Don't say Kansas City.
Kansas City makes calls for Derrick Henry.
We trying to make Patrick
No, but
Mahomes the best quarterback.
No, but this is my argument, and this is why I like John Lynch, because John Lynch heard that Dallas was going to go get Gregory.
Oh, he said no.
He's like,
He said
no.
He said no.
We don't need you, but you ain't going back over there. That's the type of GM we need.
Yeah.
If you hear that Kansas City about to go look at Derrick Henry,
If they're on a 4,
you don't even. The Arizona Cardinals need to be called because it's not about do I need you. It's about
I can't let you.
I'm not going to let y'all go get this.
You gonna let Patrick Mahomes in the 7th year get another Super Bowl?
Can you?
No.
It's not even.
Y'all be like 7th year, and I know the year counts.
It's scary.
But he's only started. This is his 6th year start.
Yeah.
So that means he would have a ring every other year. No.
Longevity wise, I said he gonna be top. Like we didn't expect nobody to get 7 rings, but you keep giving him. You give him Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry don't break down. That's 2 years.
That's
right
at
now.
least 2.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That's what the league
exactly.
should be afraid of is that he is on he's on a Troy Aikman type run at the same time, and here's the difference. Andy ain't leaving like Jimmy did.
Right.
Yeah.
And so if you're gonna keep like if people who study football know Dallas should have had 5 or 6.
They should.
Mm-hmm.
Like it should have been Dallas up in 2, and then it should have been Dallas and Denver going at it to see if Jimmy had a say.
Mm-hmm.
If you give him Derrick Henry, there's no question Kansas City gonna run off 2-3 more.
Can you?
And Derrick Henry's longevity becomes because you ain't got to carry.
Oh
it.
yeah, and that's the
Mahomes
scary part.
carries it.
But to your point, they're going to use him after this year the way Beast Mode was used in Oakland late.
Yeah.
I don't need you for that full year. I just need your physicality late.
Yep. Like
I don't need 1,500 yards. But if you can give me 600-700 between early November and December, that is not what the league needs.
Look, when I tell you, if Patrick Mahomes can turn around and hand the ball off 20 times a game for 110 yards a game, there's nothing you'll be able
Patrick
to do.
Mahomes ain't had that.
There's nothing. See, this Chiefs
If you
team
have to play cover 1 to get that man down in the box,
Well, Travis Kelce, go.
and
my God.
but now you make
MVS.
you make the other
Rice.
pieces.
Yeah. Rice,
So
yeah.
now you got Nicole Hartman back, and now he's like, well, it's just 1-on-1 now. And if I can get him
So
isolated,
Patrick can beat one.
nah, man.
But that's the rumblings.
Go ahead and go to Dallas because I know they'll fumble it. I know
They'll figure out a way.
they'll figure. But I ain't worried about him in Dallas. In Kansas City, don't nobody want to see that. All right, we're gonna jump because we got to talk about this.
Let's talk about it.
And you and I off air already had a little bit of words. So if you haven't seen it, Giannis Antetokounmpo signed a 3-year deal for $183 million. 183.
Dollars, money in the bank.
You feel like he shouldn't have signed it.
I feel like he should have waited a year. And the only reason I waited a year, he would have got more money. Now, the benefit is with the 38-year rule, if he keeps playing till he's 38, he going to end up with more money eventually because he signed it this year. But we could have averaged out because I think he would have made $20 million more if he waited till next year.
Here is why I believe it's intelligent that he signed the deal. And it's 2 reasons. Reason number 1, he been getting nicked up lately. In the last couple of years, he had some injuries. He missed some games last year. You don't want to have that injury, and then it changes your money.
On the contract year, yeah, that's right.
Like, everybody ain't KD. His game is predicated off of his physical
Athleticism.
gifts.
Yeah.
So if his physical gifts are diminished, do you want to pay him? I also think it's smart because you already got Dame, but it sends the signs to those fringe free agents that if you come here, I'm still going to be here.
Right.
And
So
another
now-
good point, Dame got 3 more years as well.
So now you got those vets, those buyouts. The first place you're going to look
It's gonna be
is Milwaukee. So I think it was smart. And then I also think he looked at it. There aren't other places in the league where he's going to go be beloved the way he's beloved in Milwaukee,
Fair.
and have the control he's gonna have. Because I know Miami's putting out feelers, but he's smart enough to know if I go to Miami, I don't run that.
Oh yeah, no.
I don't have the control.
Yeah.
If I go to LA, I gotta live up to this legacy of
all these other people.
In Milwaukee.
And the Knicks, you gotta save them.
Yeah.
And I don't know if other people are going. In Milwaukee, I'm the guy. And because of how long I've been there, Kareem's the best player they've ever had as far as talent, but he's the greatest player in franchise history already.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, you talking about Kareem and Oscar Robertson, Giannis. Oh, that's good company.
No, but I'm just saying you're already there. So you're living up to yourself. You don't have to live up to other people.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I don't have to live up to what you've made up in your mind. When I go to these other places, well, LeBron came here and gave us 2 and we went to 4 finals. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Or if I go to LA, well, Shaq got 3 when he came, and Kareem got 5 when he came. LeBron got 1 in his, you don't want to deal with it. So I do think on a lot of ways it's smart. And then the third one, the final one. I feel it's really good for the NBA for small market teams to be competitive.
Oh yeah,
I agree.
definitely.
I think it's the league becomes bad when it's like baseball. The problem baseball had, you raise a guy up in a small market and you know he's leaving.
You know he's gone.
And it's not. Baseball has gotten better with that recently, but it's better when Milwaukee is contending, Sacramento's contending, or when the Pacers were really good. The league is just better.
It is better. I think, me personally, I agree. I think it was smart for him to sign that deal. Less on the injury front, but more to your second point is, I know, and I think Giannis knows this, as much as you don't want to admit it, we cannot compete with the Celtics. We need additional pieces throughout the year. So because of that, if I sign this deal now, when the buyout market happens, those people are going to say, you know what? Okay, the Celtics, I may not have a role over there.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm not going to have a role with the Lakers. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to have a role with Golden State. But, the Bucks, though, I might be able to get 7-8 minutes a game over there. And then that's when they start getting those pieces that when it comes to depth, because that is what they will need, is then they be like, okay, so Giannis is locked in here. So, I don't mind signing a 1 or maybe even a 2 to stay here. And then we can get some consistency. So I think, to your point, I think it's important that he got it done now because it sends that message to say, hey, I'm locked in. Dame's locked in.
No.
Come over here,
Absolutely.
and let's see what we
And
do.
I think the perfect example of that beforehand, remember, Bobby Portis got there, career was in flux and everything, and when we Giannis, you get the title, and they loved him. Bobby had opportunities to get more money.
Yeah.
But they loved him, and he fit so much that he's like, I'm going to stay here.
Yeah.
But you ain't staying there, to be honest.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you just not. So I just feel like it was smart for him to do it now.
Look, shout out John Horst, the general manager. Because I like a general manager when the player says, get me some help, and you make the trades. We not sitting here, we not letting it go till it's trade deadline. And, hey, I'm doing this during the off season. We have a full year together. We can go into the playoffs, build chemistry. And just the consistency. Again, trading away Drew Holiday. But I wish you could have got something else, but they gave away all their ones for Drew Holiday.
I know.
So,
but I think when you look at what they did, they made the best of what they could do in the moment. And I think Portland is looking at it and is saying, that year we went to the conference final.
That was peak.
We should have done more to elevate our team.
Mm-hmm. But y'all didn't want to spend that money.
But we didn't want to take risks. Because, see, Milwaukee moved pieces that people didn't think they should move at the time. And all. Like, it took them, 3 more years to say, okay, we'll move C.J. McCollum?
Mm-hmm.
And C.J. McCollum's value was going to be at its highest point that year they went to.
Yep, it was. Yep.
And it wasn't going to be. And there's no disrespect to CJ, but in the playoffs, he folded up like a cheap tank. Like that's just this is what he did.
Disappeared.
Like, and I know this year they like, well, he was hurting, but I can show you CJ's playoff numbers.
Yeah.
And the shooting percentages fall, and in crunch time is bad. Like everybody's not that guy, and CJ shouldn't be your lead guy in the playoffs.
They boys, but you can catch Dame looking at him crazy throughout a mini playoff series. Like, what are you doing, bro?
And I just had to say this because, man, you see, they've been doing stuff all day. They say stuff and trigger. We didn't get to talk about it when it happened. You said shout out to their GM, right? Well, let's do an unshout out.
He an idiot.
To
I already know.
the Nuggets GM.
I already know what you're gonna say.
How
Calvin
disrespectful.
Calvin is throwing, and he's like, I'm not trying to. No, you said it.
You said it.
You said some like.
Come on, man.
You have
two bad defenders.
like we talked about this last week. Like you can't say the stuff that Calvin is saying, and you feel empowered because you got this ring. But like, dog, you still gotta conduct business.
Yeah.
And players don't want to do it.
Yeah.
You don't want to bring free agents. Oh, you talking bad about me?
No,
Like,
you don't always know the connections that these players have.
Yeah.
Bones, you don't know who Bones boys are.
And I'm gonna give you a perfect example.
I was gonna come on.
Because
that was so disrespectful.
They were talking about playing in Orlando under Stan Van Gundy, and I forget the player, and I don't want to lie, but he was saying that like when the starters are in the game, Stan would like cuss him out while he's on the bench, but he's not talking to them.
Yeah.
He's talking to the bench about them. So the player's like, well, what do you say about me?
Yeah.
When I'm in the game, then I'm not, and it's just like that's them. And then like you said, they communicate.
Yeah, man.
Like, yo, what is it like to play for?
And they'd be like, no, that ain't it. Jokic is dope, but that culture, nah. And see, that's what I mean. It's like you like you said, you still got to conduct business, and what you don't realize is,
and they talk more now than they've ever talked before.
I mean, come on,
and then limit like
the NBA now is grown up AAU basketball.
Oh yeah,
that's
absolutely.
what it is. And so
Absolutely.
those dudes, they've been playing together
forever. But no, like D Wade said, Ron wanted Pat to come down, and D Wade had to have a meeting with him.
no, you don't want
You
that.
don't want that. you don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, but again, because he'd been through it and he knew what he was like.
Yep.
You like these guys are talking, and like it's part of the reason Byron Scott can't get a job now because Byron Scott didn't rub several people the wrong way, and
I think it's part of the reason why Mark ain't getting a job right now.
Mark
gotta be.
Mark's problem is what he said about the LGBTQ community, and I remember one of the owners of the Warriors is a part of that community, and so
But see,
Mark has never apologized, and that's the thing. You got to do business.
But see, that's what I mean.
And your personal can't come in. So Mark ain't apologized, and then you know what his problem is too. He feels he's above coaching college.
Agreed.
And I love Mark. I think Mark should have had a job by now.
Yeah.
But you can't. Golden State did something no other franchise is going to be willing to do.
Agreed.
You can't be pastoring on Sunday and doing Bible studies during the week, flying back and forth. And so, like, he only wants a West Coast team. He doesn't want to stop pastoring. Like, you can't
have both.
Can't do both.
Yeah, so.
Like, Frank Wright showed you, like, Frank Wright was like, I want to get back in coaching. He stopped pastoring.
Yep.
Like, you can't do both. And Mark wants to, and I think franchises are scared of that. And then when you hear, he was laying hands on Steph's ankle.
Right.
That you can't. You can't.
Too charismatic.
Look, you can't mix business with the religion. Like, you just, that ain't the world.
It ain't gonna fly like that.
This ain't the world that's gonna work. All right, fantasy.
Let's go.
The Bengals been good since then.
Tight ends starting to show up all of a sudden. Like, it was a slow start for tight ends.
Slow?
Non-existent.
Man, it was a wasteland. It was.
Look, Mark Andrews.
Man, they showing up.
3 weeks of 22 points. Hey, man.
Hey, look. To your point, I really think what happened is that all these offensive coordinators, they all went on the same vacation, and And I think they all were like, you know what we shouldn't do? We shouldn't utilize one of our main pass catchers. Because most teams utilize a tight end to give you consistent yardage. They all were on the same trip. All on the same trip. They were all drinking that same thing. Maybe a little bit of Kool-Aid. Might have been a little bit of something else. All I know is, it obviously the effects have worn off now. Kittle tonight had a pretty solid night.
Goddard had a good game.
Andrews, Kelsey, Waller.
No, Waller, I think was a Tyrod thing.
Well, either way,
I don't know if that was the
three for 96 at the top. I'll take it.
Gesicki gets a game-winning touchdown.
Yeah.
The tight ends have woken up, and I'm happy to see it because
it was rough.
It was rough
because as much as people who drafted Sam Laporta, as much as people who drafted him were so happy. Sam Laporta is a rookie tight end. Sam Laporta should not be the highest scoring tight end in football, the second highest in the league. No, that should not be a thing. Now things seem to be coming back to the mean. You should now start, hopefully, we don't know, right? We don't know, but hopefully, based on the trends, you should start seeing the Darren Waller. You should start seeing the Mark Andrews. You start seeing the Evan Ingrams and like the consistent tight ends. You should start seeing them climb back up. Sam Laporta is still going to be good, but he shouldn't be the tight end too.
All right, Deshaun Watson. Everybody thought after his situation, he was just going to get back into it. He's hurt, and quite frankly,
he's not getting them. Like how y'all didn't? That was his physical therapy, and now he can't do it, and now he hurt, and he can't play.
You see what I deal with?
I mean, anytime he can't even go to what's the place?
Look.
This is what he said when Tiger Woods started winning majors too.
Wow. Here's the thing. So because massages are not a fantasy stat, I mean they might be his fantasy, but they're not a fantasy football stat. Honestly,
somebody keeps a stat of happy ending somewhere.
You see what Coach got us
talking about the physical
you see what
legal.
Coach got us doing?
I'm talking about legal massages.
Who should people pick up?
It's a little late. It's a little late now. If you base Deshaun Watson was going to be your guy, if that was like, I'm waiting till the 6th, 7th round to get Deshaun Watson, that's what you chose, then your only option right about now, Aiden O'Connell, Russell Wilson, or my man's up in, and I don't even know his name because he ain't even on my radar. The Bears backup quarterback, Bagnet. Is that his name? Him.
Come on, can we talk about how bad, real quick? How bad it looked for Justin Fields? This dude just came in undrafted and is orchestrating the offense. No, his first one. Orchestrating the offense in a more efficient way than you. I knew Justin Fields was done in Chicago, but if Justin Fields don't get his act together, he might be done.
Yeah.
Because that can't happen.
Look, you was fishing. I got Baker Mayfield and Joshua Dobbs. Like that's who available.
Well, you can't do Joshua Dobbs because Joshua Dobbs is about to go back to the bench.
Joshua Dobbs is about to get set.
And Baker Mayfield is gross. So he's thrown 1 touchdown and 3 picks in the last 2 games. Then
these 15 points. I'm trying to find you some points with
he's
Deshaun
15. No. Here's what you don't understand. Those 1 touchdown and 3 picks that he's thrown in the last 2 games, those have been against bad teams.
Oh,
God. Their schedule is about to get real difficult. They see what people don't realize. The Buccaneers played. Ready for this? My favorite stat. Oh, made me so happy.
Anything to make Baker look bad.
The Buccaneers played the 6th easiest schedule to start the year. They will finish with the 9th hardest to finish the year. Don't do Baker.
Okay.
Honestly, your best bet, honestly, we're just being fair, is Russell Wilson. He's really your best bet right now. Even though Russ hasn't looked the best the last 2 games, he still gives you the best potential of points. It'd be Russ.
Who will have the bigger bounce back week? Herbert or Goff?
Now here's the thing. I got Jared Goff, so I have but I also have Justin Herbert. I have Herbert in multiple leagues, and I have Herbert and Goff together in a 2-quarterback league. When I tell you that I'm expecting 400 yards from Justin Herbert, you know why? Because they are playing the Bears. Keenan Allen and Joshua Palmer are about to do awful things to that defense. So any Charger that you have, Austin Eckler, Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, Joshua, all them, start them. It's going to be bad. But then I thought to myself, I said, self, what about Jared Goff? You got stock in Jared Goff too. Well, guess what? I went ahead and looked on the good old Google, get a look at the matchups. Do you know who the Lions are about to play next week?
The Raiders.
The Raiders.
Oh, dear
so
God.
every Lion you got, start him. You should start Craig Reynolds. He's the third running back. Start him too. You should start the 5th wide receiver. You should start the 4th tight end. It don't matter. Both of them are going to be. It's going to be gangbusters. Because do you know what you finally got? Do you know what you finally got? A Jahmyr Gibbs sighting. Jahmyr Gibbs, for the first time all year, we were like, oh, this is who they drafted. This is what they drafted for. Because everybody was saying, oh, Jahmyr Gibbs is going to get like 35 yards on 9 carries. Nah, they used him like Alvin Kamara, which is his comp.
Which they should have
Always been doing, but it's fine. Now, if you kept him and you still got him, fire him up too. Because the Raiders defense, outside of Max Crosby, well,
We had to pick. So I went with Goff because Brian Staley might cost Herbert some yards.
I think. look, I think Kellen Moore is gonna be like, man, you ruining my good name. You got me out here looking like a bad OC.
Cursing me with a curse.
All right, who you got? Who you got? Bigger bounce back, Herbert or Goff? I got Herbert for the record.
Oh, I got Goff.
Okay.
I got Goff.
Okay.
I feel like what happened to Goff was we thought we were here.
Mm-hmm. And you realize you're actually like right here.
We found out, okay,
Them purple jerseys.
it's like a boxer who goes on a nice little run, but you ain't beat nobody.
Mm-hmm. Look, quiet as it's kept. Quiet as it's kept. No one talked about it today. You didn't see it in the national media. You saw it about the Dolphins. But let's also be honest. Outside of Kansas City, the Lions also have
No, that's the point.
all their
when
wins
they
against
beat,
a team
when they beat
that have 4 wins.
Kansas City, it's first game of the season. Chris Jones didn't play.
Yep.
Kelsey didn't play. You go to Kansas City, you get a win that they needed,
One.
but and then you haven't played anybody great. And then, as much as Lamar looked great on Sunday, they got out physical.
Oh yeah. Oh,
And the Ronnie Stanley play.
that
First of all, I'm so happy that he's healthy enough to sprint out there and do that.
right.
But that safety had no shot.
No, that was
And it was just an example of what was done to that defensive line, which is why I said before we got on air, they need to go get another defensive end.
yeah, they do.
They have to.
They need to
Because we were bringing in an extra tackle and doing all kind of stuff. And Aiden Hutchinson is great, but it was like, go over there.
Yeah.
You can't do that when he has the tag team part.
So
I got Goff.
I said, look, fire them all up. Fire them up.
Against the Raiders?
Against the
Look, this is what I'm going to tell you.
fire everybody up.
This is exactly what I'm going to tell you. If they don't win this game against the Raiders by 2 touchdowns, then the Lions are not at that level.
Yeah.
They have to win by 2 touchdowns.
I'm calling it right now. Might even put some money on it. I'm gonna have Jared Goff 300 plus, 3 touchdowns. But I got Herbert going for 403. And that's what I got. Because look, as much as the Bears have won, they won. It's still the Bears.
Yeah.
Let's not forget.
Lord have mercy.
Woo.
All right, that's all we got for you this week. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. We appreciate you.
Peace. Can you imagine how terrible the Raiders? God.